course, the end of the year is a fun yet really extremely busy time because you have to wrap up everything that you have done the whole year, but then you don't have to do it for another year, so that's always a bonus. So there's going to be a gazillion videos coming from me. If you can't tell previously that I've been practically uploading a video every single day, that is just what's been happening. I've been filming a lot of them and then trying to upload them spaced out. I have uploaded more than one video in a day in the past, and it works sometimes. Like, there was one day that I uploaded 7 videos because half of them were vlogs that I was behind and I had to do that, and it was a booktubeathon. It's okay when it's a booktubeathon, it makes sense. But anyway, good little montage there at the beginning. But today's video is going to be about the series that I completed this year, and I completed one more than last year, I think. Yes, I completed 13 series last year and I completed 14 this year. Didn't reach my goal, but I tried. But that is the main thing. But I'm excited to get into this, and I have them written in order of when I read them. So I will start with the series that I read at the start of the year and end with the ones that I finished at the end of the year. That should make sense. But I explained it anyway. But let's just get into this video. Also, just going to tell you guys is I say series, but it can literally be a duology, a trilogy, quartet, series, any type of this. It's just books that have more than one book, and it counts as a series in this idea of the video and an idea of me trying to finish things. So just to let you know, there was like half of these are duologies. So the first series I completed was the Snow Like Ashes series. I don't know if it has a name, so we're just going to go with the Snow Like Ashes trilogy, which consists of Snow Like Ashes, Ice Like Fire, and Frost Like Night. So I finished the last book this year at the start, so I finished this trilogy finally. I really did not like the second book. The first book was really good and the second book sucked. And the third one like sort of blew me away because the second one sucked so much. So I am happy that I've finally finished it, and it's a series with beautiful covers. I recommend it, but just know that the second book goes downhill and it's like, what even? But overall, an enjoyable trilogy. I think I'd probably rate it like 3.5 out of 5 stars overall, but it was pretty good. And the next series is The Remnant Chronicles by Mary E. Pearson, and I finally finished this book. I actually read the first book twice because I read it at the start of like the year before, and I decided to read it again because this is like a bit of a confusing book and the plot twist is so like crazy. I had to reread it again knowing exactly who the characters were because I got it wrong. If you guys don't know, that's kind of like one of the key plot points, is you don't know who two of the characters are and you keep swapping your opinion between them, and when you set on one you might accidentally have it wrong like I did, so I had to reread the book. But this series consists of The Kiss of Deception, The Heart of Betrayal, and The Beauty of Darkness, which is the book that I completed, I think. Or did I read the other ones this year too? I can't even remember, but I know I finished it. But this is a trilogy I absolutely love. It's one of my favorites. This is one of my favorite books. I love it so much, and it's just a great story, and I would totally reread the whole thing again because it's just amazing, and I love it. I love the love interest, I love the story plot, I love the everything, and the main character is kick-ass, and I can't even, I love it so much. Okay, the next series I finished is The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater, or The Raven Cycle. The Raven Cycle, which consists of The Raven Boys, Dream Thieves, Blue, Lily Blue, and The Raven King, and I finished the last 2 books this year, so I finished this quartet. I enjoyed it, but I was confused the whole time. I honestly have no idea even what this is about, but I enjoyed it for the characters. That's so bad, actually saying that. I don't even know what I just read, but I liked it, is exactly how I feel. It's just very whimsical and crazy and weird, and I don't even think a reread would make more sense to me. And it's so open-ended and just everything you don't even know, and nothing's explained like ever. So it's not my favorite thing just because I was so confused, but I'm glad I finally finished it because this was a popular thing. I mean, it's always been a popular thing, but I never read it, and like all the books had been out before I even read the whole thing, and then I finally did, and I was just like, thank God I know what everyone's talking about, but I'm not as obsessed as everyone. And the next series is the ACOTAR trilogy, and oh my god, I can't believe I finally finished this. So this consists of A Court of Thorns and Roses, A Court of Mist and Fury, and A Court of Wings of Ruin. And I know there's more books coming, but this counts. This is its own series trilogy. This is just a thingy. And we do have the novella coming out next year, and then we have the 3 other books that are all going to be different characters. Like, I mean, the characters that we know, but they're going to be like, each book's going to be set in a different story of those characters. So I definitely think the main trilogy is over, but there is still going to be like 4 more books happening, and there could be more. Like, I don't know if she's just going to keep writing books. Like, we've honestly we don't know. But I really do love this trilogy. This book here is like one of my absolute favorites, and the first book's okay, and the last book was a bit of a letdown. So it's like this like kind of really led up to be amazing, and I was like at the end there, but I'm still so happy I read this. And it was like 2016 was the worst year for me because I had to wait for this book. I had to wait and it was killing me. And then I finally got the book and it was a bit of a letdown, and that made it so much worse, but I still really enjoyed this series. The next series I read is the Passenger duology, which consists of Passenger and Wayfarer, and you know, I really didn't like this. Like, honestly, it was like I had such high expectations for this book and they were not met, and I found it so boring. And then I was like, okay, well, I wanted to finish the series. Like, I'm just one of those people that just can't not finish reading something. Like, I mean, sometimes if it's a series I really hated, I just won't pick up the next book because I just can't even, because I need to wait some time and read some other books, and I may probably eventually pick it up, but I have to finish a book if I'm halfway through it. But if series, I can sort of let it go. But like, this is one of those ones where I didn't really like this book, but I just wanted to find out what happened, and this was a letdown too. It was still boring, and I was like, why is everything so boring and like sucky, and like the main characters weren't even together for most of the book, and I'm just like, what? But this is just a series that I finished that I'm not the biggest fan of. Okay, the next series I read was the Crown's Game duology, whatever it's called, which consists of the Crown's Game and the Crown's Fate. And I really enjoyed the first book, but the second one kind of let down the story for me. Like, it just, I don't know, like I couldn't really like connect to the story as much, and like I just didn't really like having the idea of like evil Nikolai, so that kind of pissed me off. So it's kind of very annoying, but I think the first book is definitely a really good read, and yeah, this second book was just a bit of a disappointment, and it just made me upset because I wanted to really like it and then I didn't. The next series I read was the Savage Song duology. Oh no, it's the Monsters of Verity or some crap. I don't even know. I don't know what it's called, but I've got the Savage Song and Our Dark Duet, and this is something I really do not have a good relationship with V.E. Schwab. I have not liked any of her books that I've read. Like, it's so annoying. Like, I read this book and I was expecting to really love it, and it really wasn't that great, and I was so bored. But then I picked up the second one, and about halfway through it actually got good. Like, I actually was enjoying the story, and then it was over and I was like, really, I only enjoyed this little slither of her bloody writing. But it's just annoying for me because it was okay, but I don't even think I want to even try and read any of her other books because I just don't like them. Like, not as much as I expect to. Next, I read the Six of Crows duology by Leigh Bardugo, and just, oh my god, it's the best thing ever. And it also consists of Crooked Kingdom, and just, this is the best thing, honestly, I've probably read this year. Like, this will be my favourite series read of this year, and they're just so beautiful too. Like, I just can't even get over this. But I don't even know why I never read this before. Like, I've had them sitting on my shelf forever, and I finally read them because my friends were like, let's read it together. We butter read every now and then, but we haven't for a couple of months just because we've been really busy. But we read both of these together, and just, ooh, so good. I can't even, like, I love it. It's just the best thing ever. The next series I read is one that's been sitting on my TBR for the longest time, and that is the Splintered series by A.G. Howard, which consists of Splintered, Unhinged, Ensnared, and Untamed. And I finally did it, and I really enjoyed this. It was a really cool retelling of the Alice in Wonderland story. I actually really like the way A.G. Howard does her retellings. It's just an interesting way to have it, and to have like the characters actually know they're in the story. But I really loved how whimsical and magical it was, and just Morpheus, mate. I was so Team Jeb, and then I just was like, no, not even. I love Morpheus so much. Like, I love both of them, but like, I'm Team Morpheus. But I'm also Team Jeb. Like, I really was not even concerned who she ended up with, just because this was written so well. But just, I recommend this. It's a very good series. Oh my god, I had to stop for a bit there to have dinner with my family because they're like, Abby, get out of here. And I'm just like, bitch, I'm filming. So it might be a bit darker now, but let's continue on with the rest of this video. The next series I have is the Lament duology, which I have a hard time saying because it used to be Ghost House trilogy. So it's got a new name, new title, new everything. So this is Lament and Haunted, and I enjoyed the first book. You guys have to know my story about this, about the fact that this book came out like 4 years ago or something, and I read it not too long ago, but a while ago. The second book just wasn't happening, and I found out that the author went to a new publishing house, and then she published the second one like 2 years ago, and I was so annoyed because like I've been waiting for this book, and then it's already been published and I didn't even realize. So I got this book. So this is the book that I read this year, and oh my god, it was so disappointing. Honestly, like most of these series that I'm finishing, it's just like, I sucked. I did really not like it at all. It was just stupid. The characters were clingy. It ended weird. The first book was really, really good, and this one was just really, really shit. The next series is one that I finally finished, and that is the Evernight series by Claudia Gray, which consists of Evernight, Stargazer, Hourglass, then Afterlife, and then Balthazar. I read the last 2 books this year, and like I really only was reading the Evernight books like one every readathon, and that was like a couple of months, and then I stopped for a while, and I just knew that I was really going to try and read this series this year, and I finished it. I did it. I was just finally like, you know what, I really need to finish this series, like I really need to read it so that I finish this whole thing. So I have more Claudia Gray books read, but I really enjoyed it, except Afterlife was a bit of a letdown. I didn't remember how immature and stupid these characters were, but Balthazar was really good. Like I actually really enjoyed that so much, hearing about Balthazar and his life and hearing Sky's story and everything. But Bianca is such a childish little brat, and I was like, I hate this. The next series I finished was the Stormglass trilogy, which consists of Stormglass, Sea Glass, and Spyglass. Oh my god, I really did not enjoy this. Like honestly, it was kind of stupid. I think overall I gave it about 3 stars, but I was expecting this to be really good and it wasn't, and I was so annoyed. This is so stupid. Like the middle book is my favourite, which is funny that I have a few series where the middle book is my favourite and other ones where it's the worst one, but I just hated it. Like honestly, I gave it an alright rating, and it was during the time when I was just like sort of hating everything I was reading, and it did not help, but I just did not like the idea of the story really that much, and it was just annoying me, and I just didn't have Yelena and Abbeyleec in my life, so I had to read this though to get to the other series, so I had to finish it, and that just sucked so much. Okay, the next series I finished was the Airhead trilogy, which consists of Airhead, being Nikki, and Runaway, and I just picked up the last book on a whim just because I wanted to finish another series, and I just really wanted to try to finish one. So this is a trilogy I finished, and I loved the first 2 books, but this one just felt like really immature, and that's probably not good. But I just, again, like I hadn't picked up these books for a little while. Actually, I think I read this book this year as well, but or maybe I read all of them this year, I don't know, but I just remember really just trying to push through this series, but it was just, the characters get so jealous over stupid things when it's like literally life or death happening, and they're just like, oh my god, I'm like so annoyed about you, you didn't text me back, and it's like, blah, blah, stop it. But I'm glad I finally finished it. Okay, but the last series I finished was the second Yelena trilogy, which consists of Shadow Study, Night Study, and Dawn Study. I liked this so much more than Stormglass. Like it was just so much better, and I'm just so happy that I've read this now and I'm finished. I've completed a 9-book series in like a little bit of time, but I've read the last 6 books this year. I read the last 6 books, so technically it's like the Stormglass and this series are part of the same series, but they're separate trilogies, so I'm counting them as separate, so at least looks a little bit better when I'm like, yeah, I read 14 series. But I love Yelena and Abbeyleec so much, and to read it back in their lives when they're like full-on adults. Well, I mean, Abbeyleec was like a grandpa in the first book, so he's not much more of an adult, but having Yelena like 27 was just so cool, and it felt so adult yet young at the same time. It's just, there's something about her writing that just makes it a bit hard to read, but overall I really enjoyed this, and I'm just so glad I finished. So those are all the series that I finished this year. I did plan to get to 20, and that did not happen. Next year I'm hoping this video might be a bit longer, and I mean this filmed for a while anyway, so I probably shouldn't have gone into as much detail about each series, but I hope you guys enjoyed it anyway. But thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you later. Bye!